5 seconds. 2, 1. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Coach Sagasa.
Coach Neil.
And this is the Frank and Neil Keeping It Real show. And thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Awesome deal. So what do we got today, Neil?
We're going to talk a little bit about what we ended with last week on should athletes in college be getting paid? We're going to dive into our second part of the discipline. Then we're going to see where you draw the line on your energy drinks.
Oh, yeah. Where do you draw the line on energy drinks as I'm looking at one right now and drinking one at the same time? Yeah. So, again, thank you guys for joining. We appreciate you guys' time, and we want to make it valuable. Again, we are not doctors. We are PE teachers. So, please, again, just a disclaimer. All right. So, let's jump right in. What kind of fun fact do you have for me today?
Oh, I didn't come prepared today, but let's think about something here. I have nothing off the top of my head.
Okay,
today.
so I got a fun fact.
All right, hit me with it.
Did you know that snakes can swim in water?
Oh yeah,
I seen one this weekend, and it freaked me out.
Yeah, water moccasins. Whew.
This kid. Okay, so that's what he said it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if it's true or not because I didn't get close enough, but I was close enough to where I can see this thing slithering through the water. I did not
too close for you.
That was too close enough for me, straight up. Like I'm not a Steve Irwin kind of guy, and I definitely didn't want to get close enough. This kid that I had in this group, though, I took a group of kids camping.
Yeah,
this particular kid was a brainiac. He was like, "Oh yeah," he went into details of telling me the type, and forgive me for forgetting, but I was moved. But he did say it could be a water moccasin.
Yep.
And I was like, is it poisonous? He says, absolutely. I said, yep. Then that means that we don't get near it. That's all that means. Like, don't touch it. So that was a fun fact because I never knew that snakes could swim. Now, I have seen the Discovery Channel where lizards walk across the water. I've seen that.
Yeah.
But snakes swimming?
Do you know iguanas dive into the ocean and eat the sea moss off the
What
bottom?
the hell?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
See, it's another fun fact, folks. There you guys have it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dude, I'm the opposite. I've been over there trying to catch that snake. I brought it home.
Yeah.
And it
Anna flipped out.
Should
Should have been mad at you. Exactly.
I caught a snake the other day.
What?
Yeah, right here on the road driving home. It was slithering across the road, and I was like, "Can't have that."
Yeah.
Come here. He's snapping. Throw him over to the dog park.
Steve Irwin right here. I'm telling you,
Look at the crikey.
straight up. So yeah, man, that's cool. So what you been up to today?
Nothing. Took the dog to the vet. Got some good news and some bad news, but mostly good news, better than what we thought it was going to be. So it was pretty good. What about you? You just came back from a little trip.
So we went to, took a group of students. This is our 5th year of taking students out exploring and joining the I guess what's that word I'm looking for? The harmonization of nature. And this was my very first time taking my wife on this type of excursion. So I can tell you right now, I don't know if she's going to go next time. Hey, she just put it that way. I might have to find another female chaperone. Let's put it that way. So it was cool. It was just different, But yeah, that's what we did, man. Driving back was good. The weather up there was in the highs 80 degrees, lows 60 degrees. Man. So it was gorgeous. So for those that are just tuning in again, we're here in Bullet City, Arizona, where yesterday's high was, they say 115. In my mind, we all know this, that we are locals. Yeah, it's like 120. I think they just say 150 to keep us like calm. You know what I mean? And we're going to have to do some digging into that because I think there's a lot of people that say, go out to my thermometer, it's at 125. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that will say things like that. So nonetheless, it was very hot here. I come in today and it's hot. Like straight up. It's hot. It's 115 degrees.
Excessive heat warning.
Yeah.
Yo, if you ask my mom, we live in the hottest place in the world.
I agree with her.
She swears it hit 150 the other day. So
I agree with her. When a person shows you an egg from his ranch, the bus driver has a ranch here locally, eggs, I shouldn't say eggs, and out of that dozen of eggs, 4 of them were cooked.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you something, like straight up.
You ever been to Oatman?
Yeah, they do the
They do the egg
one
cooking
time.
on the sidewalk?
Yeah, one time I've done it. One time I've been there. But nothing is better than the bed racing. No, let me tell you all.
Bed racing champ.
Nothing is better than the bed racing up in Oatman, Arizona.
We got to put that video out here. I got the video.
So yeah, that's a good one. I like it. So let's jump right into it, man. So let's get into this first topic, which has a lot to do with again that second topic. This is the second part of why we discipline our children. And coming from this experience again, camping, my wife said something as we were getting all the stuff and putting it up for the bus to pick us up. She goes, "Wow, it's amazing that all of us were taking, us too, the adults, were taking most of the stuff, 90% of the stuff up."
Yeah.
And so my wife says, "They don't have any discipline." And I said, I had to correct her. I said, "Babe, it's not that they don't have discipline, they don't have initiative. They were never shown or given that skill." I said, and that's a problem with us as adults or grandparents. And I said, you have to remember, most of these kids are raised by their grandparents.
No, most of them are raised by a tablet, a cell phone, a computer.
He's not lying.
TV.
Straight up, he's
And
not
if
lying.
If it's not an objective in a video
True.
game, they're not going to know what to do. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do.
You're actually telling the truth, Neil, because I told Sarah, I told my wife, I said, "Hey, the reason why you went," and this is in our own personal vehicle, I said, "The reason why I love doing this is because it helps us as educators in the field of education. It helps us get a better observation, a better viewpoint that most teachers will never, ever get unless you're actually spending time with them outside." So when I hear people say, "Oh, you got to build a relationship." Oh, yeah. When's the last time you fucking took them out camping?
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time you spent more than 24 hours with them? Like, that right there tells me you're building a relationship, right? So I started looking at this. I go, "Sarah, you have to get outside. You have to think outside the box."
Yep.
Because here's the fact is if you're watching them, you'll see which kids are connected. Like, there was a 24 hours, and you're going to check this out. 24 hours, there were some kids, they could not leave the tent because they were until their phone died, until it was dead. And some of them brought 3, not 2, 3 battery pack chargers. I was like, "Stop it.
Yep.
Get out the tent and let's go explore."
Yeah.
Right? So
no, it's fascinating that these kids think that when their phone battery dies, that their life is going to end. Like that's their lifeline to the world.
And
I remember as a kid, we didn't have cell phones. Thank you, Jesus. We didn't have cell phones. We would jump on our bike and drive around till you've seen bikes in other yards. And then you're like, hey, that was our social media. Walk into a room. What's everybody up to today? Now it's sit in your room and see what everybody else is
exactly
lying.
Right.
And that's the other thing. So many of these kids believe everything they see on social media. They really think that my friend does this. No, your friend's just posted that.
Yeah.
Your friend's not really an influencer.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree with you, and I agree with the bus driver. He said at 12 years old, he was literally taking a pocket knife, his 22, a sleeping bag, and him and his buddies at 12 years old would go out camping in northern Oregon. I'm like, wow. Like that's interesting. Here, almost these kids that I took were 12, 13 years old. I'm like, dang, dude, that's crazy.
12 years old. I took a pocket full of quarters, my bicycle, and I rode 30, 40 miles to other cities to go to different car shops.
Yeah.
Pocket full of quarters was to call home and check in with mom. So those that are too young to know.
He was calling home. I was playing video games. I'm not going to lie. I would go to Tyler Mall in Riverside, and I would ride my bike from the other side of town to Colton all the way to Tyler because that was the only actual mall. Or I'd go to, what was it called? The one in Purdue. It was called, oh, come back to me. Oh, man, now I forgot the name. Jesus criminy. Yep. It was in Purdue. It was.
So we would jump. We'd either go to the card shop or like Bullwinkles. Oh, we have Bullwinkles back then.
Tell them what cards are because they don't know what cards are.
Baseball cards, Pokemon cards,
business cards.
I still have my Pokemon cards from when I was a kid.
Man, dude, straight up. Or the Pong cards.
Pogs. I still got those. I still got those.
That's old school right there for those who don't know.
Nobody wants that.
Hey, this kid asked me, what are marbles for? And I said,
for slingshots.
Right. I was like, you never played marbles? And I'm like, no. I was like, okay, so like you dig these little 5 holes in the ground and not too deep, and you just play marbles and you use your thumb. Looking at me like, are you serious? Like, why would you do that? I'm like, that's what you did for entertainment. Shortly after I said that, Neil, I seen this kid pick up a stick, and it was a good sized stick too. And he was hitting pine cones. Bad practice. I was like, oh man, see, that's creativity. I mean, there was only 2 of them actually like, got involved in doing it. Other ones were sitting around, jaw jacking. But I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, man. And I think it was good. It's definitely a wonderful thing that we like doing. I really like doing it. It's cool. I'm thinking about in the future just starting a business and doing it, because there's no other school in this community that does it like that.
Yeah.
And it's a great idea. So nonetheless, man, let's jump into our topic about discipline now.
Yep.
Okay. So where are we at with disciplining our children, and where do we draw the line when we say we shouldn't discipline our kids because it's going to leave an internal mark for them?
Yeah. See, I find it hard to like figure out this whole timeout situation.
Mhm.
Like, what is the point of it? Like, you're just telling the kid like, hey, don't do that for 5 minutes and then you go back to it? Or like, does it actually work for people? Are there kids that you put them in timeout and they come out and they're like, hey, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't have done that? Because I know if I was in timeout as a kid, I'm not thinking what I did wrong. I'm thinking, oh, you guys just hate me.
No, I think that there's a fine line of timeout, and what I mean by that is, if a kid has a good understanding, like, man, my parents mean business.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna beat my ass if I don't straighten up, and they take a timeout. Hey, you need a timeout. You need to go think about this. Come back, reflect on it. Basically, what they're saying, reflect on it, then come back and tell us where you went wrong and how you can improve. That right there, I'm thinking that's a good kid, right?
Yeah.
They come back, they tell you, okay, Dad, this is where I messed up, and I do deserve a whooping, or I deserve some kind of consequence, whatever they come up with. But who do you think should come up with the consequence? The child or the parent?
Oh, I think the parent has to, because as a kid, my dad ever said, what should your punishment be? You should probably just take my video games. Let me go play outside.
That's it.
Okay. Anything but the whooping.
Yeah. That would have been
Andrew.
Andrew's. Andrew would have been that. So I definitely see it. And Isaac, dude, I used to think like you, and no disrespect when I use this word Native American. So I used to think Isaac was like some type of Native American.
Mm-hmm.
He would just sit there and just like look at you straight dead in the face, like almost into your soul, and take the ass whooping. It almost scared me,
Yeah.
Now he's all big and buff, and it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta watch my back.
So my brother Tommy, right? If you ask him, do you want me to take away your video games and computer,
right,
or whooping? I'll give me the whooping. I'll eat that. That's nothing.
That ain't nothing. That's crazy,
dude. Okay, so I got a funny story to tell. Sorry about that, but we're driving in a car one day, and my mom gets so mad at my brother. I don't remember for. But she goes to smack him. He said, and blocked it.
Oh, snap.
Wait till your dad gets home. My brother's like, I didn't do nothing wrong. As soon as my dad gets home, my mom starts crying. He hit me.
Oh, no, are you serious?
Tommy, I still feel bad for that.
What?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my brother got a whooping on that one.
I love it, dude.
But yeah,
God.
discipline it's needed. Not only that do you think that parents should be feared or just respected? Do you think that your children need to have some kind of fear of the punishment that they're going to be getting?
Damn, no, that's a very good question.
Because like my thought process is I don't care if my kids like me.
Right.
I want them to fear me. I want them to, every time they're about to do something bad, to think, nope, not doing that.
Right.
Because I got to go home and face him.
No,
take me to jail. I don't want to go home.
Right.
Because I know that I'm not supposed to do that.
I like that.
Do you think that there should be fear in there somewhere? Or should it just be like, oh, that's my best friend?
No, I like what you said. Like there has to be a sense of fear as well as respect.
Yes.
Like they have so much respect for you that when they cross that line, they now have come into a line of fear, or they have messed up so bad, they made a decision so bad that they know that it's going to not only just infuriate you, but also, I guess, disappoint you.
Yeah.
And that's where that fear factor comes. I guess that fear of flight kind of takes initiative.
That's like, I've always wanted my kids to respect their mom so much that they never wanted to disappoint her.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to fear me.
Yeah.
To know that they should never mess up because they have the consequences.
No, I like that. And I think that even applies even when you go into sports too. Because, you're still in sports. I think that has to be one of those things one of those crucial key elements for succeeding, even in the home, is you dive right into teaching them what respect is and then what fear is, but only to fear only your authority, and that's it. I like that. That's a very good one, man. The more I think about that, it is really good.
Yeah, that was always my thought process.
So we got a generation though that there is no more fear.
No,
In fact, I was telling you before coming over here, I just clicked on the TV channel, and now that you mentioned this, it's marinating in my mind. It's got my mind. That's how my mind starts working. So that Miss Maryland is and it's a subject in itself, but I mean, it's a male, biological male.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking, like, was that child disciplined more out of fear than respect? And that's the way they turn. Like, I don't know. Like, what I mean?
I don't know that has too much to do with that. A lot of people say you're born that way. Some people say, something happened to you when you were little.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not a science
right
professor, and I don't understand how the mind and all that works. My God doesn't make mistakes.
Right.
So I feel that, they were born that way for a reason or whatever. But I don't know that we should be taking away from our girls and our women. I just, my daughter, I would like to think that, she has a fair shot
right
against other women, and she doesn't have to compete against men for everything. I mean, why do we even have men's and women's sports if we're just going to combine the two? Or men's and women's pageants if we're just going to combine the two?
Right.
So, I draw a line there. We had a basketball season where a male won player of the year for women's basketball, for girls basketball. And where do you draw the line? Like, well, I thought we had Section 9 in women's sports so that they had a fair shot.
Yeah. We'll definitely, for you guys that are just watching and tuning in, we'll jump on that subject here shortly. Give us some time to actually come back to it, because that is a very good subject to actually come back on and hear it from the coach's mouth about that particular subject. We'll keep it absolutely raw and real with you guys on that subject, because that is a very good subject that each and every single generation should be looking at right now. But let's dive right into those energy drinks. Where do we draw the line with energy drinks? Because energy drinks are like the most popular thing in today's society.
Yep.
Why though?
I think it's the new fad.
It's a trend.
Do you remember Mellow Yellow when we were kids?
Oh hell yeah, that was good.
I mean,
that was good. That was actually really good.
It wasn't like on commercials everywhere. They had one or two commercials here and there. I don't remember.
But it was NASCAR. NASCAR
had the big car, the Mellow Yellow car.
Yeah.
They advertised it.
Hot Wheels came out with their
videos and stuff like that. But I think that it's just a new trend. It's like Starbucks. These kids have to have Starbucks before they go to school, and most of them don't even like coffee. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I drink energy drinks here and there because I like the taste of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get energy from them. I don't feel energized. So for me, I'm not a big energy drinker. But I know you.
I'm laughing because when you said that, I took some energy drinks on my camping trip.
Yep.
I told all the kids, these are mine and Miss Sagasta's. Nobody drink them.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody didn't hear that clearly. I guess I was speaking a different language at the time, or maybe I should have
texted it.
So yeah, I should have texted it, right? I should have blew that up. So I should have made a meme out of it and then send it to him. So this kid drinks one of my Celsius.
Probably late at night too.
Okay. Yes. They stayed up talking, gossiping, and the other two girls, they fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And she was still talking. My wife overheard this, and she's like, she shouldn't have drank your energy drink. I'm like, yeah, serves you right.
Yeah.
So, good.
At what point do we draw the line on how many we have? I mean, what is there, like 5,000 different flavors and brands? And
there are a lot of brands, a lot of different flavors. I like Celsius. I do like the one that you showed me. What is it called? Is it called Rang? I think it's called Rang. Ring or Rang?
It's Rang.
Rang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Celsius. And once in a blue moon, I will try a Red Bull. But I mean, that means that store Celsius does not have Rang. Then I'll get a Red Bull.
Yeah.
But other than those two flavors, no. Those are the two top flavors.
While you're talking about Celsius, you seen this thing going around that Celsius is bad for you?
Oh,
what's your thoughts on it?
All right. So there's
I seen the video, but I didn't dive into it. But I know you did.
we could actually share that video here. We probably can a little later, but we'll share it on our Instagram page. You guys go to our Instagram page. We'll share that video for you guys. And yeah, so this nutritionist, and I sent this to you, this nutritionist went on there, and it's not the first time that I've seen this video, but he goes on to say that Celsius has a vitamin. The key word in what I was sharing with you is he used the word found.
Mm-hmm.
That word found is separate from produced in. So when you say, hey, this particular substance was found versus it was produced in a factory, that's very different. So, I agree with the guy to some degree. There are some vitamins that are in every single drink, every single food that are not going to be always good for us. But that's where I always come back to. It's how much we indulge in it. I mean, at the end of the day, if again, this is not for drug use, but if I choose to smoke marijuana and I overdose on it, I've never read of anybody overdosing on marijuana, but if you do, okay, my apologies, but nonetheless, that's my own choice. I messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I'm drinking Celsius and I drink 2 of them, which the actual recommended amount is 2 drinks and that's it, or 2 cans, that's my fault.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Like the vitamins that are in every single cereal, they're not all good for us.
Well, so I have a thing I've been thinking about lately, and so back in 20s and 30s and before that stuff, the life expectancy of a human was, I believe, it's like 60 to 70 years.
Mhm.
Before that, I think you lived to 50, you had a good life.
Okay.
Now we got people living into their 90s, hundreds. Do you think that the preservatives and everything that we're drinking are actually preserving us? Or do you think it's just because the medical industry is getting so much better that we can live?
Dang.
Right? Because who's to say that these things are bad? We don't know. How do we know that Celsius's competitors not like,
Right.
hey, put this out there and say this is bad for you? Our drink doesn't have it.
I mean, the only thing that really I look at those, it says essential vitamins.
Yep.
Proven in 6 published university studies.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at that compared to other drinks and I go, okay, well, they have it there. I mean, if they're lying, wouldn't that be a case for a lawsuit?
I mean, but you look at like what was that drink, Naked by Nestle? It was like supposed to be like some health drink.
Oh, I do remember that.
And they ended up having to pay that
That's
lawsuit
right.
for false advertising and change their labels because of how bad it actually
That's
was
a
for
fact.
you.
Yeah, that is a fact. That's true. That actually did happen.
So I mean, they could post whatever they want on there until they get sued, and then they just change it, and everybody forgets about it.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, I think that's one thing that we'll have to come back on this particular subject, because I am going to actually do a little bit more in-depth research on that lawsuit, because if Celsius is in a lawsuit, damn, I want to get paid, like straight up. I think that's pretty interesting though. That's a very
I drink Celsius too then.
Yeah. That's crazy.
How do they figure out who gets to be in that lawsuit? Can anybody say, hey, I drank, I'm in it?
I think if I remember correctly, you have to have the actual receipt. Now, who in the world keeps a receipt from a drink that you bought at like Maverick or Circle K or some 7-Eleven? I don't know. Like when I get a receipt from any little local store, I don't keep them. Straight up, throw them in the trash on the way out or in my car. I don't keep them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you have to literally, oh my God, you'd have to go to your bank statement, all that. Forget it, dude.
So off topic, well, on topic, but
okay.
Speaking of receipts,
yeah.
You ever been to CVS?
Not in some time.
Why are their receipts 16 freaking pages long? Every coupon.
Why are they toilet paper?
Dude, 3 redwood trees to print a receipt.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I have never noticed that. No.
CVS, you got to chill on those.
Wow. That's a lot of ink. You think about it.
I went in there and I bought like a soda or something. I swear my receipt was freaking almost as tall as me. I'm 6 foot.
It's the coupons?
But
wait a minute. They put coupons on the receipts?
Yeah, everybody just throws away. They don't even look at the coupons.
Dang, man.
It's crazy.
So you're basically almost, if people are doing it, you're throwing away money. Yeah, basically, right? I mean,
but if I buy a soda, do I really need a coupon for toilet paper?
No.
I mean,
that's actually interesting too, though. If you buy an energy drink or if you bought a soda and you get something for toilet paper, why would they even do that?
It's like whatever's on that receipt. I think the receipt itself is just a bunch of random coupons and they just print the receipt on the back of it or whatever. I don't know. I have to look at that one as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like an algorithm in itself. Wow, what a trip. Huh. No, I'll have to look at that. That's pretty interesting. So energy drinks, again, what is your to-go energy drink? How do you guys like your guys' energy drink? What type of energy drink do you guys actually like? Please comment and share, because we want to know exactly what is that why do you like that particular energy drink? What is your favorite to go when you get home or when you wake up in the morning? When do you have your energy drink? For me, I have my energy drink at like 2:30 every day. Or in this case, what is it, 6 o'clock now? But I had one this morning. No, my second one. I had one at 9:30, 9:45. So again, I don't know if there's an actual science to when you're supposed to have them, when you're not supposed to have them. Can you drink them right after one another? I don't know. I do know this for me in experience. I would have my pre-workout and then drink this at like 2:30. So I had enough time where, as a PE teacher, we burn all that energy off straight up. Like, yeah, we burn that energy off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Every person's different. Every single metabolic system is different. So I really don't know that part of how it affects every single person, because that'd be crazy.
Is there one drink that gives you more energy than another?
Yes. So the Ring actually does give me a whole lot more.
That jittery feeling? Okay.
But I like the taste of Celsius. And I particularly like, there's like 9 flavors. And out of the 9 flavors that I have tried, only 5 of them that I really to go. Those are my number one drinks. And Fantasy is the number one top one. Yeah, that's like the number one. And I always look for it. Everywhere I go, I always look for that particular one. Now, you talk about science. Like, what is in that particular one that has me geared or fixated on that particular brand? Is it dopamine? Is
I
it?
don't know. That's a good question.
Red Bull with vodka. Okay.
That's my wife's go-to. I don't care where we go, give her the Red Bull and vodka.
Well, they used to. So her and my wife are friends, and they used to drink this drink. And I do remember recalling and asking them, "Hey, how come they don't give you the Red Bull at Buffalo Wild Wings with the drink, actually the can in the drink anymore?" Because I remember
the
them
trash can.
the trash can. I remember them doing that, and I thought it was really fancy. To me, I thought it was the number one sales pitch. So again, if you're watching anybody from Buffalo Wild Wings, you need to bring that back, because that's like selling the sizzle at what is it called, Chili's. I was almost said B-dubs again. No, I almost said, what is it, Applebee's. But Chili's has that phenomenal way of they walk down and you just hear that. I love that sound.
I would say the food's talking to me.
That's right.
I got to order one of those. It's talking to me.
Exactly. That's a sales pitch. And when I see the trash can, that's a sales pitch. And now I wouldn't drink because I'm a male. I want something that tastes like gasoline or something. And then I go home. I'm good.
Dude. So I had a sip of my wife's drink the other day. Okay. There's no way you drink for flavor. I drank gasoline out of a lawnmower through that straw, apparently.
All right, so Neil is our designated driver everywhere we go, straight up. We never have to call an Uber or anything like that. Never. Love my brother. So when we go out, at times, I do consume some alcohol. Not saying that this is for everybody, but anytime there's like some fancy and we ask him, he's like, nah, he's good, right? But this particular one, he had to try it. Now, he can tell you straight up, like, why in the world would you ever consume such a drink like that? He could tell you from firsthand, like, not to.
Don't do it.
But you talk to my wife or Miss Martinez, Anna,
my wife,
they will tell you otherwise, okay? So I prefer a Jack and Coke when it comes to drink, but I've never tried an energy drink, though, with an actual alcohol. I've never tried that yet.
Okay, so alcohol is supposed to make you sleepy, right? Like you drink and
yeah, that's right. Like it calms you down, kind of like, yeah.
So like
wine does totally, yeah.
So if you put like alcohol with like an energy drink, or I see people that put coffee in their alcohol.
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah.
Like, is that count? Like, are you just like,
I don't know. Yeah, right. I have seen people
do
that.
What does that do to you?
Well, I don't even know what show I was watching or movie I was watching. He's got like his coffee. Oh, it was Sicario. And he's got like this bottle. I don't even know what it was, like tequila or something. And he's like just pouring it into his coffee. I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know if I could ever do that. And I love coffee. I love black coffee. I enjoy black coffee. I used to use creamers, but now I could not see myself putting any type of alcohol or anything in my coffee. So to try to do that with an energy drink,
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to get Anna on. She'll have to tell us. Oh, that's right. I take that back. Correction. Yes, I have to reflect on that. So yes, I have tried a drink, and yeah, no, she brings it up. This why we don't drink because she's the best. She's the best. It was awesome. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Wonderful memory. All right, so let's get into our next topic.
Yep.
So the next topic is,
Athletes in college and should they be paid?
which is a very big topic to talk about, folks, because I, on one hand, say, hell no. Like, you should not be for all these years, Neil, all these years, people have been playing sports and never been paid. And now all of a sudden we're in the 21st century of this new age where, nah, I gotta get mine, yo. I gotta get mine. Like, where the hell did we go wrong in saying, no, you came here to this university to get an education, and playing ball was secondary. Now it's primary, and we'll send you to the NFL or NBA or any one of these other sports, and you're going to get paid here and get paid there. No, I draw the line on that.
I think that athletes do need to be compensated, but not at the number that they're getting compensated right now. There's no way that a college quarterback should make more than an NFL quarterback. But I think about, growing up where I did, and all the kids who were so talented,
right,
but they had to help their parents pay bills. So
Okay.
they weren't allowed to go play sports,
right.
because you can't go play free and possibly get hurt and not be
Right.
able to work, and your family needs their bills paid. So I can see why, hey, you know what? I need to get something. I need to help provide for my family. Okay. A lot of kids I know, they had babies right in high school.
Yeah.
They had babies just out of high school. Where do you say, hey, you know what? My dreams and goals got to be put on the back burner now. I have a kid to raise. So does that kid, should he not be allowed to play sports because he has to provide for his family, when that college and that institution is making billions of dollars a year off of his name? Football games and college, I'm horrible with video games, but I know there's a college football game.
Yeah.
That makes
NCAA.
billions
Right.
every year. And that kid's in that game.
Okay.
So should he not get paid for that?
Okay. But what if this opens the door to, like, let's say I'm an athlete. I had a baby at a very young age. I mean, they projected me to be the next Brett Favre kind of kid,
Yep.
But I had a kid and I had to put football aside. What if that opens the door to me now saying, no, I want back compensation, or what is it called? That starts with the R. Oh man, people are doing it now. They say your parents. I was to slaves. What is it called?
Retribution.
Thank you, retribution.
Yeah.
So where do we? What I'm saying? Like, if we're paying kids, and I call them kids because they're a lot younger than me. So we're paying kids to go to a school to play a sport because you're a good athlete. Then why don't what if, again, where does it draw the line and say, I can now sue the school because they didn't do that with me? Or worse, what if a kid says, why don't you start paying us as academically sound? What if I have a 4.0 and higher? Why aren't you guys paying me?
I would only say is because there's no ticket sales. Right. It comes back to, like, no disrespect to anybody, but the WNBA, they can't make what the men make because they just don't bring in that kind of revenue. Right. Professional lacrosse can't make what NFL players are making because they don't bring in that revenue.
True.
These football players, basketball players, baseball players, they're bringing in so much revenue that, they should get a portion. I think that it needs to be a minimum wage set for everybody. Right. Why does the starting quarterback get paid $7 million a season?
Yeah.
But the line blocking for him is only getting 100,000. Right. So there's got to be some kind of, like, hey,
happy medium.
I talked to my brother and he said that they should get paid what someone who's not in college would get paid. Right. Like, if they were to drop out and they went to work at, Walmart, Amazon, wherever, they're going to make $20 an hour. Right. So let's make it a salary. You'd make this much a year.
Right.
That's what the college player would get.
I like that.
I like that. I think that
makes more sense.
You're not skipping out on the NFL now and staying 7 years in college because you're getting so much more.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what bothers me too. Is you got athletes in college that are making just as much, if not more, than the damn coach.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Well, Caleb Williams, the #1 draft pick this year, said I could stay in college for another year and make way more than what I would make in the NFL as a rookie.
Yeah.
And that's just insane.
With $800,000 for a year as a rookie sitting on
Yeah.
the bench, not even playing.
Well,
Come on,
and that's supposed to be the top. That's the peak of the mountain,
Right.
getting up there to the NFL. And so I don't think that these players should be making that.
I like that.
But then you look at, then
yeah.
you look at, are they still allowed to do commercials and stuff? Because then they can get paid whatever they want. So I think that there should be like a minimum wage, not minimum wage. Okay,
But a base salary.
Yeah, there should be a base salary that all players in college get.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I like that.
Take
actually.
50% of the ticket sales or whatever and split that up between them. However you decide, I don't care. But I don't think that there should be any under the table, come to this school, we're going to pay you this.
Yeah.
Right? You get this transfer portal that's just out of control right now. And if a kid's not getting what he wants, he's going to transfer to a new school.
I think that right there.
The booster club is going to pay them this much. Like,
and so I would go a step further. Now that you said that, if a kid does not get what he wants and starts throwing a tantrum, then now we have to take that money back. I don't care if you go to another team. That team that's now going to pay you those millions has to pay back a portion of what they were offering you at the time. Does that make sense? Like that, I like that.
My brother had a good point. If I'm at UCLA this year,
right,
and I transfer to your Notre Dame,
right,
I should not be allowed to get any money that season.
I like that too.
Because then that'll keep kids from just transferring. Like,
that's
hey,
true.
You
gotta stay loyal. Yeah, dude. I hate buying. That's what I was telling you the other day. Like, I cannot stand, and I think that's what drew me away so much from the professional sports arena and visualizing and watching that is because you can't find the loyalty anymore. I can't go buy a Barry Sanders jersey, which again, Barry Sanders happened to be one of those loyal athletes that stayed with the team. But today you buy a guy from a team or a girl from a team, they might not be there tomorrow. That's exactly what he's referred to. In college, it's the same way. If you go to a different college, that college shouldn't pay you, period. But they're so, I don't know, man.
The only time I think that a kid should be allowed to transfer is if their coach that recruited them leaves to a new school.
Okay.
Because if that coach sat at my table and was like, we want you, we want you, we want you.
Yeah,
we're going to build this around you. And I go there and then he leaves and I get a new coach that says, hey, you know what? You're not my quarterback. That kid over there is my quarterback.
Right.
I should be allowed to transfer at that point because I was sold false dreams and false hope.
Damn.
But,
wow.
I think this transfer portal, I mean, I get it. Things happen and new kids come in and kids get benched and stuff like that. But what are we teaching? Jump ship.
Yeah, that's
jump
true.
ship.
Yeah. So it goes back to that discipline you were talking about earlier. We were talking about that respect, that loyalty, that particular mindset. When kids are just bouncing, if people are just bouncing from transfer, from university to university because they're not getting I'm not getting mine kind of attitude, then ultimately you have to look at the root and say, you know what? Yeah, I don't want this kid on my team. He's transferred 2 different schools. Just because he wasn't feeling well or because he got his feelings hurt, because I got another quarterback that's actually a lot better. He's got a good attitude, does things off the field. It's not all about me. He's about the team. No, I'm putting that kid first. I'm going to pay him. Reggie over here, he's good. No disrespect, your name's Reggie, but Reggie over here is good, and he was promised this, but at the same token, he just has a bad chip on his shoulder. Like, that's interesting.
So it's funny you picked the name Reggie. So I have a question for you. Okay, so receiving money was illegal. Now it's legal, and Reggie Bush had his Heisman and everything stripped from him. Right? I believe. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was reinstated now because of all this. But I'm not sure. But what about all the kids that weren't given money back then and had stuff stripped from them when they found out they were receiving money?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There could be some attribution there.
Exactly. This opens the door to that. And as we were talking about today, that's what it popped in my mind. Like, if I'm an athlete and I got something taken from me, whether it was a Heisman or some achievement award, I want to be paid now.
Yeah.
Like, this opens a brand new door of different lawsuits, different allegations, all kinds of stuff to look at. It's crazy. It's crazy now. Sports is absolutely crazy now. I'm now starting to follow more And I think it's because of Dana White and how he runs his business. I respect Dana White. After telling a sponsor, go kiss my ass, I'm going to vote for whoever I want, and I'm going to promote whoever I want, and I will put in my arena of UFC whoever I want. No company is going to come in and tell me who and what I should do. That right there, I like that. And that's a different type of mindset and attitude, and I respect that.
Did you hear what he did with the Peloton bikes?
Mm-mm.
So Peloton pulled their sponsor, one of his friends or something like that, over political or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, the guy was telling, yeah, I lost my sponsor of Peloton for whatever reason. He called his manager. He goes, hey, don't we have Peloton bikes in our gyms? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, not no more. Get rid of them.
Damn. You see what I'm saying?
He says, I will not be censored and quieted.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I respect that kind of mindset when it comes to good sports. And he, I've heard people say that Dana White doesn't pay people, but yeah, you look at all these other athletes that are, I mean, just jumping on the UFC wagon to be a part of this legacy.
Yeah.
And it's really changed. It really has changed the whole octagon way of entertainment today. You have a lot of, people that are involved in it, a lot of big sponsors, a lot of main attractions. I think it's cool. I really do. I think it's really cool. And I think what they're doing, it really is dynamic. You don't have what we were talking about earlier. You don't have where the biological female is entering in the male sector. It's not happening. In fact, you hear a lot of these athletes say that are so against it. You have real women with real women and real men with real men. I think that's dynamic. But going back to our college kids being paid, I have to draw the line in. There has to be a happy medium of how much they get paid.
Yeah,
that's where I draw the line. I cannot see us as spectators, as fans, to watch a player get paid millions of dollars, especially in a country where there's so much poverty and so much foster care and so forth. To see that get done, and then they'll cry and complain, and then leave, jump ship, and go to another school. Nah, not happening.
I would like to see some kind of compensation because you do have to provide for yourself and your family.
Yeah.
And college sports is a full-time job.
Yep.
Okay, they got meetings in the mornings and the evenings. They got morning weights, afternoon weights. Practice, offense. They got special teams. So it's a full-time job.
And then you still got school.
And then they still got school. So they don't have the opportunity to go and work. Some of them have to. And I respect them. Those guys. Those walk-ons that have to pay their own way, do all the practices, have a job to pay their way. It's unbelievable.
But what say you? What do you guys think? Should athletes be paid or should they not be paid? We want to know from you guys. What do you guys think? Okay, please comment and share because we definitely want to know exactly what you think and what you feel. Should athletes be paid? Yes or no? Okay. All right. What else we got, Neil?
I think it's going to be about it for this week.
That's about it. Okay. So please join us next week for episode 6 of the Frank and Neil Keeping It Real show with each and every single one of you. And hopefully next week we'll actually have your brother.
I hope so.
Because that way we can piggyback on this and jump right into a new topic. Definitely. Until then, peace out.